15 degrees and sunshine right now. It is summertime. That means it's grilling time. And if it's grilling time in this household, it's also drinking time. People are like, why are you a maniac? Didn't you learn from anything that you've done? No, I've learned nothing. I refuse to give up anything, which is like 90% of every man I've ever met. Women, way smarter. Men, why? Why would I stop these life-threatening practices? Eating all the wrong foods, jumping out of planes, playing a sport that has like blades on ice, sharpened, and you're not very good and you drink beer while you do it. Why would we stop these kinds of activities? Activities where you need a helmet. That should tell you something. It's a little inside information. But barbecue season, how could this be bad? Well, I don't know if I'm saying it's bad, but I'm saying if that's all you do. Moderation, which sometimes has not been in my vocabulary, but I've had to learn a little bit, as we all should. And as guys get older, there's a lot of my friends who actually are saying they are cutting back. One of the reasons, 3 friends now? Gout. Which, I'm like, gout, isn't that what you get when you're 80 or when you're old? No. And it probably is a little more common than I thought. So this morning, our good friend Joan Sarro from Calgary, a master herbalist, so easily right now the smartest person on the show. Now I got to admit, Joan, that the bar's a little low. Brendan said at least second. I am last. So we are thrilled that you're joining us. We always talk Bell Lifestyle products, but first of all, buongiorno, come stai?
Bene, e tu?
Oh, molto bene. Oh,
good morning.
And see, that's the other thing too, is that just a couple of weeks ago, someone doing some meat and then had a nice pasta on the side, an arrabbiata kind of style, and it's like summertime is a great time from a culinary standpoint. Like I watch The Taste of Italy. I watch like Stanley Tucci. Do you ever watch that show he does where he goes through The Taste of Italy and he goes through all the different cities, he goes through the different regions, and they're always outside and they're killing something and it's going on the grill. It's Italy. I mean, it's getting on that grill and they go snout to tail, right? There is nothing in Italy that, because some of that food, I mean, like a lot of our relatives and certainly on your side, they didn't grow up rich. I mean, the food is based on almost what you would call peasant food. And then it comes over here. I met one guy, it was years ago in Hamilton. Of course, Hamilton. I go, hey, are you going to have the polenta? He goes, polenta. I never need to see polenta again. Just because he was sick of it, because it was the cheap cornmeal food to eat. But now in the summertime, and what goes with it, beer and wine, there are issues with it that maybe guys aren't, guys in their 40s and 50s aren't really thinking about. And if it catches you, from the guys I know that do, it is, it's painful. It hurts.
Yeah. Somehow as humans, we always have to pay for having fun. It's always a consequence to fun. And I mean, just the word gout.
Oh, I know the word's bad.
The first time I heard it,
yeah,
was when I was working in a clinic when I was quite young. This man was telling me about all his issues, and he's like, and I had no idea what it was. He's like, I have gout, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound pleasant.
Your first reaction wasn't as a master herbalist; it was probably ew.
Yeah, no, I hadn't been on that journey yet. I was just like, that sounds. It just doesn't sound nice.
No,
at all.
No.
But yeah, there's unfortunately a lot of the things that we love in the summer and that men love in the summer, and really all of us, just men are more prone to gout, or those of us who aren't vegetarians. But pescatarians, like shellfish, anything that's high in purines, which, it's naturally in our body, naturally occurring, but too much of a good thing. Beer, wine, high fructose beverages, meat, can cause gout flare. So gout is basically a form of arthritis. And if our body isn't eliminating uric acid properly for various reasons related to the kidney as well. So we have our gout relief product. We also have kidney tea. Those work quite well together.
So it's a buildup. So it's a buildup where the kind
Yeah.
of the joints are, because I know people like their foot will swell up, or it'll be a foot, or it'll be some in the shoulder, which was kind of odd.
Yeah,
So
it can be really any joint. It's trying to shunt, our body's trying to, and it does this with a lot of things, shunt toxins away from our organs into our extremities to kind of, save us basically.
right.
However, that turns into accumulation into our joints, not just of uric acid, but other substances. But with
So
gout,
it's a defense mechanism, essentially.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically. And so it's like a lot of intake without detoxifying, or not even detoxifying, just processing toxins properly. And then usually most men or most people will feel it in their big toe.
Right.
And it's described as a burning feeling where nothing can even go near your toe. It can be in any of the toes. It can be like, yeah, in any joints, in fingers even, but it's most commonly in toes, and it can be extremely painful. And once you have it once, it can definitely reoccur and then lead to more serious arthritis throughout the feet.
So this
So
product we're talking about this morning, it
I don't
alleviates
really,
this. How does that work?
yeah, so it basically has herbs that help to clear uric acid from the system and help your kidneys, help your systems of detoxification work better. So we have a couple of really unique herbs. We have black cherry and celery, which you'll find in a lot of gout products that help to reduce uric acid in the system. And we also have a couple of products that you won't see in many other supplements, especially in Canada. Banaba leaves is one. It's a Southeast Asian herb. It's really good for diabetes, and it lowers blood sugar, and it's also a kidney protectant. So that'll help the uric acid leave your system. And Mojave yucca, which reduces arthritis symptoms. So you can take 2 a day if you're prone to gout. And if you have a flare up that's acute, you can take two times a day. I mean, yeah, the best thing to do is reduce our intake. So maybe not have a barbecue every single night if you're prone to that.
Oh, that's just great.
And then
news, Joan.
also do, kind of undertake activities that help you sweat a little.
Right.
So
So any sort of, I mean, again, and we say this very often in these segments, but what Bell isn't making is a one fix all magic pill. It's sort of like you meet someone who said, well, I'm gonna lose weight, got to get in better shape, so I'm going to take this bottle of fat burners. I'm going to take like 18 a day. Yeah, it's really not how it works. I mean, you might want to actually go up the stairs, or maybe walk the golf course instead of take a cart, like just something that has some sense of physical activity instead of just taking a one fix all magic pill, because that's not what this is. That's not what we're talking about.
No, I mean, it can definitely help for people who don't want to, because a lot of people really, the reality is, don't want to change their lifestyles. But yeah, it is something to keep in mind, and I can tell you that gout, like the pain of that, from what I've heard, would be a motivator,
right,
to do something. And unfortunately, when you have a flare up, you're probably not going to want to do a lot of activity. But when that pain goes away, a lot of people don't realize that you're going to be very prone to flare-ups after. So just be mindful between to try and do a little bit more activity. In the summer, it's a lot easier to do that.
Now, what about someone that would say, because this is generally how life works in the modern world, they're like, well, I'll just take aspirins. I'll just load up on aspirin. But again, what we're talking about is a natural health product, which works a lot different than just having half a jar of aspirins.
Yeah, and aspirin can actually, like some meds can actually bring on gout flare-ups, and the medication, like the pharmaceuticals for gout, can actually burden our liver and our kidneys, our detox organs. So that could create a vicious circle. They're pretty intense meds. For some people that might be the right solution. But if you can find something natural that works, and in Alberta, for me as an account manager in Alberta, I can tell you our gout our gout support is a very popular product.
I bet.
Um,
I bet.
so lots of Alberta beef. So yeah, it's something that definitely works. And then just being mindful of your organs of elimination, so your kidney. And then, you know, our new liver support product is a good companion product to this. Making sure you're just processing your toxins properly. So in a roundabout way, that's not just going to help with gout, but other forms of arthritis as well.
Yes, because when you're talking about some of these products, and we mentioned obviously the gout, but 89, by the way, that's number 89 is the gout relief. Now, when you talk about the liver, which liver product are you talking about?
Our new liver support product.
Yes, because that's relatively, that's within the last year, I believe.
Yeah, it's a new one. It's number 82 liver support. And it's been very popular. You know, our price on it's really good, and we have all of the elements that really help protect the liver. So N-acetylcysteine, NAC, which a lot of people look for in liver supplements, and also just overall health. A lot of people through COVID have been looking for supplements with NAC in it. It's a glutathione precursor, and it helps to increase our detox effect in our systems. And then classic liver herb that a lot of people have heard of, milk thistle, is in there, a liver protectant. Artichoke, dandelion, which also helps gallbladder and kidney. And then curcumin, which helps to lower inflammation, which our gout supplement does as well. And then curcumin also activates glutathione. So all of those work together to help the liver detox some more complex toxins that we might come across. Our liver has 2 phases of detox. Phase 2 is the more chemically complex toxins that we come across just in our daily lives. So taking that along with our kidney tea, which I think is an important one to mention too for gout specifically. Sometimes it's not a one size fits all issue. And sometimes, you know, in herbal medicine, we kind of look at things from a holistic perspective, as in the body working together as one, not just different separate organ systems. So
and sometimes
a lot of people don't necessarily correlate gout to like kidney issues, or they're like, I'm in pain, help.
Well, it also too is one of those things where, I mean, we've now been doing this with Bell for a couple of years now, and like I'm now finally sort of getting people asking questions. For instance, because we have that Inflamex where we actually did the TV spot.
Oh yeah, that's a great product too. Yeah.
Well, I'm using it now, and I don't need it like the whole year, but occasionally something feels like, okay, and it's, for me, it's always knees. So like a lot of guys who played hockey or sports, you know, and that's what the commercial talks about. But in the last week, I get these people who I know, some I don't, who see the ad. And then after like 2 years of us pounding away, it's like, does this really work? No. And I'm a liar. I just go on and I'm just like lying about stuff. No, the reason this is so easy to promote. And for instance, in the last 72 hours, I would have had, well, in this household. So I had Inflamex, but now I'm not taking it because I'm often running now. But I would have had Sound Sleep. So I take Sound Sleep because it works perfectly for me. But in this house now, you've got the clear pills, right, which my son would use. And both of them now, wife and son, are having the liquid multivitamin, which they
that's
really
a great
like.
Product too.
Yeah, and they love it. And, you know, it's funny. The one thing that sometimes we talk about, we mentioned the teas of different things. They make sure that they taste good, like they're good tasting, because a lot of times, look, granted, there's a company out there that says it tastes awful, but it works. Okay, fine. But this is a company that really understands if you're going to take something regularly, it better be pleasant. And they've really done that with their teas, I find.
Yeah, the teas are good. The prostate tea is surprisingly really nice, which is why it's popular. I think if it didn't taste decently, I don't think people would take it. That's another good companion product too, right? Just making sure you're eliminating your urine to be blunt, to reduce that uric acid.
Hey, people, what kind of show is this? What are
Um,
you talking about? Well, I'll tell you what. So our buddy Dave Bastl has those teas cold, because some people are like, I'm not
yeah,
really a tea drinker, but he'll like, okay, I'll have, and he puts it in the fridge and he has it all week.
yeah, exactly. Our bulk teas you can make ahead,
Yeah.
so you don't have to sit there and boil it and prepare it all the time, right?
Yeah.
And have it cold, and it can be quite refreshing. And then that way you're also drinking water, which is important, very
Right.
important. A lot of people forget about that. It's like a lot of beer, people start to feel bloated, right?
Mhm.
Drinking a lot of beer and eating a lot of heavy foods. And they think that drinking water is going to make that feeling worse, but actually that's a bit counterintuitive. So drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Help those toxins leave your system.
You can never go wrong. Joan, thank you so much for another excellent segment. Really appreciate it. Always timely. Great to see you.
Great to see you.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe this summer I get out to Alberta. I don't know, but and hey, by the way, there's these new airlines. One's called Lynx, another one's called Kish, which is weird. So my son is going out in July from Toronto for $480 all in, taxes return.
Oh
480.
wow.
That's unbelievable. So
Well,
might,
let us know if
yes.
you're headed this way, and I hope you enjoy your summer and whenever you do.
Well, if I get out there, just if you can't find me, just ask Tony.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm probably sitting in the Spalumbo's eating all the wrong things with beer and wine.
I'll bring the gout relief.
Thanks, Joan. Thanks so much. Love to see you. Thank you so much.
Take care, guys. Bye.
That is Joan Sarro joining us here this morning, talking about yet more great Bell products, including number 89 gout relief. It is